Once upon a time, in a small village, there lived a woman named Adaobi. She was known for her beauty and grace, but her heart was heavy with sorrow. Adaobi had a daughter named Chika, who was born blind. The villagers whispered about the misfortune that had befallen Adaobi, and some even suggested that the blindness was a curse on her family. The villagers gathered, murmuring amongst themselves about the misfortune that had struck Adaobi and her family. Their whispers are filled with a mix of concern and superstition. One villager said, "Did you hear about Adaobi's daughter? They say she has gone blind. It must be a curse on our family." Another villager responded, "Yes, I heard. It's not just bad luck. It's a sign of something deeper. Her father always had a quarrel with the spirits." The third villager said, "It's tragic, but in our family such misfortunes often come from the ancestors. We should be careful or it might touch our families too." As Chika grew, Adaobi struggled to cope with the challenges of raising a blind child. She loved Chika dearly, but the constant stares and whispers from the villagers wore her down. "Why must I suffer this shame?" she often thought to herself. The burden of caring for Chika became too much for her to bear. Every time Chika cried, Adaobi felt a wave of panic wash over her. She struggled to soothe her, but her need seemed endless. The feeling of helplessness grew as she realized she couldn't always figure out what she needed, and that frustration was exhausting. The sleepless nights piled up. Chika would wake up multiple times, needing to be fed or comforted. Adaobi found herself dozing off during the day, unable to keep her eyes open, which made it even harder to care for her properly. Adaobi started to notice that her friends no longer invited her to gatherings. They didn't understand how isolating it felt to be homebound with Chika. The loneliness deepened, and she felt like she was losing touch with the world outside. Financial strain became a significant issue, with the cost of special care and medical supplies for Chika. Adaobi found herself stressed about money. She had to cut back on her own needs, which left her feeling drained and resentful. The emotional toll was heavy. Adaobi often felt guilty for wishing a moment of peace or freedom